Hi everyone, welcome back to Brookdale Farm. Well, recently I talked about how we diversify the genetics of our small herd of cattle. There's our new one over there. We tend not to change cattle too often because they're large animals and I can't move them very easily. They don't really fit well on the back of the ute, but we also have a good bull. This is Moo. He's an incredibly friendly animal and he has quite good genetics. He produces us a really nice calf for what we're doing. He's going to last us probably at least another 10 years before we'll be looking at changing him. Now early on we did talk about getting another bull or changing bulls a bit more often. But we just decided that because he's such a nice docile animal that gives us good calves, and because they're so hard to move, we would try not to change the larger animals too often. So our new cow, she'll be here probably for the rest of her life. It's really only the ones that we are butchering that ever leave the property again, except when we do another swap with somebody, and we may well look at doing that again in another year or so, depending on what heifers we've got. So that's why we try not to change bulls too often. We have also wondered about getting a second bull, which means they could mate with all of his offspring, but we don't really have a big enough property to carry two bulls just to mate a few cows. Sheep, on the other hand, we deal with completely differently. Because they're small and I can easily move them on the back of the ute, I change my rams reasonably regularly. I get older rams. Usually I barter these from a friend or a neighbour. Our neighbour over that way has really nice merinos, and for the last 10 years I've had nothing but merino rams because I wanted to get better merino genetics and improve them. Getting older rams means they only last me a couple of years, which works really well. I can get them cheaply. They do 2 or 3 years work for me. Usually I get 2 or 3 of them at a time. And then I can either move them on, or by that point they've reached the end of their life anyway because they're fairly old and they just die a natural death. And I can get a new set of genetics. This year is the first year in a long time that I have decided to breed a crossbred ram to my merino ewes. I want to try and get some better, heavier, fat lambs for next year. So I've got this one. Normally I'd get them in a pair, or at least 2 of them. But this is a bit of an experiment this year and I'm not quite sure how it's going to go. So we've just got one at the moment, and I'll probably look at getting another one in the next week or so anyway, just to run with him. But because the rams are so much easier to move, for us it is quite easy to just pick up another set of genetics every 2 years I aim for. And if I've got 2 rams, it doesn't always work out, but you've got a reasonably good chance that the ram is not going to mate with his daughter. Even if he does, because we're changing rams as often as we do, it means that you're not going to get them mating daughter to granddaughter to great-granddaughter, because that's a recipe for things not going very well. So this is how we deal with the keeping new genetics in our sheep flock as opposed to our cattle. We deal with both of them in quite different ways. Also, cattle will live a lot longer and produce lambs for a lot longer than sheep tend to. So we try and run a much younger sheep flock than we do with our cattle. Anyway, I hope you found this little video useful. I'd better get him out of the crates now and into the flock so he can start doing his job. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye!